One, I think that the comrade makes the point, it is confusing for a start because it's not clear whether it means nuclear energy or nuclear weapons. But secondly, and I think more importantly, it raises the question, do we need this in a solidarity campaign? Do we need it in a solidarity campaign?
Please don't interrupt.
Come back. You see, right, in permanent revolution, we would defend the right of Iran and any other semi-colonial country to develop nuclear weapons, particularly in the case of Iran, because Iran is faced with Israel on its borders with something between 300 and 500 nuclear weapons. We have a situation where the United States is threatening Iran. We have a situation where the leading Republican candidate, Rudy Giuliani, has not ruled out the use of nuclear weapons against Iran. We have a situation where, in fact, look at North Korea. By developing nuclear weapons in North Korea, they managed to get rid of sanctions. They managed to thwart the potential of an attack on their country. And therefore, why can one say to a semi-colonial country, no, you can't develop nuclear weapons? Does that mean we're against a nuclear-free world where no one has nuclear weapons? Absolutely. Under socialism and a world socialist republic, we're absolutely in favour of getting rid of nuclear weapons. But anybody who thinks if we had a revolution in the Middle East, if we had a socialist federation of the Middle East, that we wouldn't need nuclear weapons to defend ourselves against the United States of America, I'm afraid is naive. And therefore, this whole section, and it's an interesting debate we can have amongst socialists, but I just don't believe we need this in a solidarity campaign, to take a position on whether or not the countries in the Middle East should develop nuclear, or you should support them to develop nuclear weapons. Some people will disagree with me completely. We're not trying to put our position in this solidarity campaign. So I just think it is better not to have it in than to put in a position that is actually wrong. That's
I'd like to invite Moshe Moshover to speak against it.
I would like to speak against it, but I would have been happier if the original clause was clearer and specified opposition to nuclear weapons in the Middle East, because nuclear energy is quite a different kettle of fish. I think it is important to raise this demand. We can't hide our head in the sand as if the issue doesn't exist. And it is not a question of directing this demand of nuclear disarmament against Iran. I mean, at the moment, not even the Americans claim that it is developing nuclear weapons. But it is important to take the initiative. And in fact, the aim of this clause, as it should stand, nuclear disarmament of the Middle East, has got two related aims. First of all, to expose the hypocrisy of those who are directing these demands or the scare campaign against Iran, while allowing Israel to continue to have nuclear weapons. And secondly, to actually put on the agenda this grave threat to the Middle East that is posed by Israel being a massive nuclear power in the service of imperialism. We are not talking about a socialist Middle East. I think, when we have enough time, when we have a united socialist Middle East, we may reconsider this question. If by that time we don't have nuclear-free or a world free of nuclear weapons, we can reconsider it. But we are not talking about demands for a socialist Middle East. We are talking about the Middle East at the moment. And I think it is important to put on the agenda something that we don't read very much about, and that is the fact that there is a nuclear threat in the Middle East, and it is posed by Israel.